All right, everyone. So I want to have a discussion with you guys about something that happened in Boruto chapter 80 and how it could possibly be hinting at something we might end up seeing in the future of the Boruto series. I'm talking specifically about the moment in the Boruto manga where Sasuke, after getting Boruto out of the Leaf Village and after taking a moment to rest, during that time, Sasuke talks to Boruto, and after making it clear that he does indeed notice that there are some things that do not line up with what he knows to be true or what the Shinjutsu is telling him is true. For example, he knows that Boruto has Sasuke's headband, even though he knows that it should actually be with Kawaki. He knows that Boruto has a scar over his right eye, even though it's supposed to be Kawaki who has the scar over his eye. He knows that Momoshiki is sealed inside of Boruto because he even outright says to Momoshiki that I know you're there. And yet, despite all of these things, he still makes sure to state that he still has a power that is inside of him that he can feel is telling him to ignore all of these things that he's noticing. And he even went as far as to outright state that these things are bothering him less and less, and he's slowly starting to believe what the Shinjutsu is telling him. And this to me feels like the series is basically telling us that it might get to a point where Sasuke is not going to listen to what his mind is telling him. He's not going to listen to what he can clearly see with his own eyes, how they completely contradict what his own memories are telling him. Eventually, he's going to just start believing what the Shinjutsu is telling him to actually be true, and it might actually lead to a confrontation between him and Boruto. Now, what might happen if this confrontation does indeed happen? Well, a couple of things could actually end up happening. For one, we could actually see what happens when Sasuke goes up against Boruto, and this time he doesn't hold back because if you remember, Sasuke did tell Naruto when they were up on the Hokage rooftop, when they were on the roof of the Hokage building, he tells Naruto that when he went up against Boruto after Momoshiki had taken over his body, he said that he still ended up holding back because even though he knew that Momoshiki had taken over Boruto's body, and even though he knew that he made a promise to Boruto that if Momoshiki did end up taking control again, that he would do what was necessary and he will take out Boruto. But when that moment came, he couldn't let go of the fact that this was still Boruto, this was still his student, and because of that, he ended up holding back. Well, now Sasuke doesn't have that attachment to Boruto. Sasuke still sees Boruto as the one who killed Naruto because that's what the Shinjutsu is telling him. So if a fight between them does indeed happen, Sasuke is not going to hold back this time. And we know that Boruto is not going to fight with all of his power because he knows that Sasuke is being manipulated by the Shinjutsu. He knows that Sasuke is not in his right mind. And he sees Sasuke, of course, as his teacher. He knows that this is his dad's best friend. This is his best friend's father. And he doesn't, of course, want to kill him. And so Boruto is going to end up holding himself back. And because of that, it could possibly lead to Boruto either being severely injured or even possibly killed. We know he's not going to die, obviously, because he is still in the flash forward. If it happens before we get to that moment that we saw in Boruto chapter 1 or in the first episode of the Boruto anime, where he is confronting Kawaki on top of the Hokage stone monuments, then we know nothing's going to happen to Boruto because we know that he's, still alive when he's facing against Kawaki. Now, there could be some other possible endings to that fight if it were to indeed happen, which is that, and this is just my own personal theory, but it might get to a point where Sasuke is possibly close to actually delivering the killing blow to Boruto, but stops right at the end and remembers the promise that he made to Sarada. And for a moment, Sasuke holds himself back, and what I'm guessing might happen is Sasuke either ends up leaving Boruto because he knows that if he is close to him, then he might end up trying to kill him, or he might possibly end up trying to take his own life because he knows that again, he has this power that is inside him that is telling him to act on his own memories, to act on what he believes to be true, that being Boruto is responsible for killing Naruto. And in order to stop himself from doing that, he might end up either fatally wounding himself or just outright taking his own life in order to not do what he is being told to do, and in a way keeping his promise to Sarada by protecting Boruto. And by taking his own life, he is indeed, in a way, protecting Boruto. So that's just my own theory as to what might possibly happen. Guys, I want to throw the question to you guys. What do you think might happen? Do you think that that line in the Boruto manga in Boruto chapter 80 might possibly lead to Sasuke eventually just doing what the Shinjutsu tells him to do? Do you think it might lead to a possible confrontation between him and Boruto? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. And while you are there, consider leaving a like, sharing this video out there if you enjoyed this video. If you want me to make more videos like these, like and share the video, and please comment down below with your thoughts, and consider subscribing if you are new, and make sure to click on the bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new chapter. And I hope I see you guys for my next one. Bye for now.